of a raging fire, mysterious as the dark side of the moon. Tap the
Hello and welcome everybody. This is day 4 actually of the 5-day success challenge for entrepreneurs and business owners and everybody else who has a goal for 2025 and wants the secret to goal achievement. My name is Nina Robert. I'm a success and mindset coach, and today I'm with my fellow coaches from the Freedom Collective. We have with us Polly Liu, Jay Cordry, and John Power. Jay, if you can pin John as well so we can all see him. Yes, perfect. All right, so that was some upbeat music to set up the vibe for tonight or today if you're joining us from somewhere else. I know, Polly, it's very early in the morning for you. It's 4 a.m. actually. We've always been talking about the 5 a.m. club. This is the 4 a.m. club for Polly. So happy to have you here, and I love your energy, Polly, being awake and very alert this this time of day is really inspiring. So thank you for being here. So yeah, before we start, some housekeeping rules. So or just some updates of what we've been doing so far. If this is the first time you join us, we have been streaming from Zoom to social media to YouTube to LinkedIn and to Facebook every day for an hour. We are here from Monday to Friday this week, and this is a free 5-day training for entrepreneurs, for business owners from across the world. And so far, we have been talking about goal setting for day 1. So a little recap I'm trying to do here for the previous days, if this is the first time you join us. So day 1, we talked about setting up the right goal, and we talked about, in case you don't have a goal yet, that's okay. We can always learn how to set up the right goal. So it's better not to have a goal rather than having a goal for years, maybe, and just trying your best to do it and not being able to and not knowing why, because probably it's not the right goal for you, or probably it's not allowing you to grow, or probably it's not what you want. And this is what we focused on day 1, is asking yourself, what do you really want? And the first exercise that we recommended that you do is to write down what do you really want, and keep asking yourself this question. To sit in silence for a couple of minutes, try to meditate, trying to listen to your intuition, and try to ask yourself, what do you really want, without considering the present circumstance, without considering what you have now, what you know now, because you don't need to know the how, you only need to focus on the what, to set up the goal. After that, goal achievement, that's a whole other story. But in order for you to set up the right goal, you need to know what you want. And we talked about, it's not obvious that we know what we want, because sometimes we end up choosing something that someone else has chosen for us, or trying to copy someone else's success, or trying to just go with the flow, where you actually ought to be expressing your very own desire. So this was day 1. Day 2, we talked about the knowing doing gap, and we talked about paradigms. If this is the first time you hear this word, paradigm is a set of habits, attitudes, self-beliefs, the self-image, your fears, your traumas, everything that makes you comfortable or uncomfortable, everything you like, you dislike, your preferences, even your food choices, even the way you dress. That is your paradigm. And the thing about the paradigm is that it is subconscious, and it is controlling the majority of your life choices. So this is very crucial that we understand this amount of subconscious choices that we actually are making without even noticing, thinking that we're making a choice, an aware choice, a conscious choice, where actually we are just following some autopilot program that we have been conditioned to follow throughout our life, throughout our education, throughout our family, within our environment. So the trick is, or what we explained about the paradigm, is that it can be changed. You can unlearn what you have learned to do. The certain way that we have been doing things can change, because if you want to achieve a goal that you've never have achieved before, you cannot keep doing things the same way. Something has to change in the meantime. The way of doing things, the kind of actions you are projecting to the universe the kind of attitude you are projecting, your self-image. Remember, that is a part of your paradigm. All these things, or maybe the things about the paradigm that are holding you back, like the fear, like the self-doubt, these things have to change. We change these things by doing things in a certain way, by doing things another way. So we unlearn what we have been conditioned to do, and we learn to do things another way. This was day 2. If you just joined us, hello and welcome. I'm doing a recap of the previous days, and you will find the recaps in our Facebook group, in our YouTube channel, and if you have registered using your email, you will also receive the replay link. On day 3, that was yesterday, we talked about self-doubt. That was one of the main questions that we've been having. What do I do if I choose a goal and work towards it and not really feel that I'm progressing? Do I need to give up? At what point do I actually give up, or do I actually continue? How do I know? How do I know that I'm making the right choice? How do I know that I'm doing things the right way? And here we talked about the self-doubt, and we talked about the difference between you having a wrong strategy or doing things not in an optimized way, on the right way, and having a lack of belief. So yesterday, that was all about belief and doubt. When you believe in your goal, the prerequisite here is that you want it. If you want something, if you desire it in your heart of hearts, you cannot really step away from it. You will always come back because it will always call to you. So if you have the belief that you can see yourself achieving your goal, this is all you need to do. But you need to entertain that belief. You need to plant that seed, and you need to entertain it. You need to help it grow with visualizing, with carrying on with the right routine, repeating over and over again. Maybe do some mirror work, maybe do some make some vision boards, whatever works for you, whatever would actually make the image or bring the image closer to your mind. The closer or the clearer you can see the image in your mind, the closer you get to your goal. So 3 main ingredients here: setting up the right goal, identifying what's holding you back, that is the paradigm or the part of the paradigm that needs change, and then belief, how to entertain the belief, how to make this belief as strong and as powerful, as potent as possible. The more you entertain it, the more you visualize this image, the more you work towards it with the right mindset and with the right strategy, the closer you get. The self-image is also a very important ingredient, but I would classify this with the paradigm. So your self-image, what we talked about, I would love to repeat this over and over again, because this is one of the most powerful things that I've learned, is that I cannot achieve my goal if I am not that person yet. In order for me to achieve the goal that I have never achieved before, I need to become that person that is able to achieve that goal. So the work within yourself, about your self-image, about your routine, your habits, your attitude, even the way you talk, sometimes even your voice has to change. And it's all about training. You can train yourself to become, I don't know, more flexible. Your paradigm and your self-image is as flexible as your muscles. So it needs training. It needs maybe some nutrition. It needs maybe some rest. It needs maybe some tracking of habits, whatever works for you. But stay aware of your self-image. Do a check every couple of days. Do mirror work, but really identify that actual self-image, that current self-image that you have, and then identify the person that you want to become in order for you to achieve your goal. So this is a short recap of what we did during the last 3 days of the Think Bigger, Achieve More event. If you just joined us, we are streaming live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And if you want to get with us here on Zoom and ask your questions, you will find the link to register below the posts, I guess. Yes, perfect. Thank you, Jay, for confirming. All right, the big question of today. Why do we struggle to take action even when we know what to do? So today we're talking about fear and procrastination. And John wants to say something. Hello, John. Go ahead. You're mute.
Sorry. Thank you, Jay. I keep doing this. Um, yeah. Hello, everybody. I just want to address something that Malcolm has posted up, which is not exactly what we're talking about, but it's to do with business and mindset. And it's a great question. He says, I have a thought that I'd like to see whether the panel agree. There's a certain theory of mindset outside of the business rules that says if you're bold enough to dare to bet against your business rationale, then you will prosper. So I guess the question there is, from what I pick up from that, is if you dare to think against the normal rationale of how you run a business, which is what we discussed the other day about, if you want to earn more money, you need to work longer hours and you need to work harder. But if that's the case, if you had somebody who is doing a minimum wage job and they work 15, 16-hour days, then they would be millionaires. And we all know that's not the case. It's actually the opposite. So we know from practicality that working longer and harder does not make you wealthy. And I explained the other day, I won't go back into it now, but it's on a recording, about how I attracted clients and how with my work, even in construction, I have a construction business as well, that I've got to the stage now where I don't even price work anymore. People literally ring me because they know me that well and they know that I do a good job, that they just ring me and tell me to come and do it. And I don't price it. I literally say, oh, look, I'll give you a price. And they say, no, just come and do it anyway. We have to get a price off somebody. We know that you're good at what you do and you always look after us. So I just do it and then I send them a bill. And I actually showed that they actually gave me, actually send me vouchers. I have a voucher for a hotel away for a weekend, which they gave me as a present even after that. So I'll actually give another example about how you can attract money. And we're staying with the business rationale. There was if I want money for something, I never spend what I have. I look to get additional money. So for example, if a bill came in or if I needed to buy something and it came in for 500 or 1,000 or 2,000, 3,000, whatever it is, I don't buy it with the money I have. I think to myself, right, how can I get this extra 1,000, 2,000, whatever it is? And there was something that came up and I needed it and it was 2,000. And I kept thinking, okay, well, I try to figure ways of how can I get this extra money. And I explained this, the girls will tell you this is a gospel truth. I literally got a phone call from Australia, right? As nuts as this sounds, and this is the truth. I got a phone call from Australia for this guy who said he wanted to work with me. Now, I ran a construction training company that I had to close when the lockdown and everything came in. And he rang from Australia saying he wanted to do a course with me. And I said, well, I don't do them anymore. I haven't even done that business for practically 3 years. And he said, well, look, I really want to do it. Is there something you can do? And you must be able to figure out something. And I said, well, I don't. It doesn't exist anymore. I can't teach you. And he said, well, I want to do it. So you may figure something out. And he said, I want to send you a deposit to make sure that we do it. And I kept saying, I don't do it. So, and then he got back to me a week later and he said, I have somebody else wants to do it as well. And these guys said they wanted to come from Australia to here. So I literally had to figure out some way of doing this course with them because they wanted to do it. I don't teach it anymore, but I said, look, all right, I'll facilitate you. I'll do something. And the two of them sent me a deposit for 1,000 each. Now, I've never met them. They're not from here. I don't know who they are. I just literally was a phone call. And the only reason they rang me is because they met somebody who I taught years ago, and they were just having a conversation on this site in Australia, and they rang and booked this course that the business doesn't even exist anymore. So I got money from business that doesn't exist of two guys I've never met. Both sent me 1,000 each, so I got the 2,000 I wanted, and they've booked a course to start with me, and I don't even have a workshop to put on in. I have to figure out something that I'm going to facilitate them when they get here. Now, that all sounds crazy, but it's exactly what happened. And I attracted the 2,000 that I wanted from people I've never met from a country the other side of the world. Now, that is how strong and powerful this material is, that when you start thinking in a certain way, and you just think to yourself, it's going to happen. You don't know how it's going to happen, but if you just have the confidence it's going to happen, it's crazy the way the world starts to maneuver around and puts these things into place for you, and these opportunities arrive, and they do. And as long as you recognize them, they come up all the time. We just don't recognize them. So when you start to recognize them, it's like when you go and buy a car and you've bought this blue, I don't know, Toyota something. You'll see that car everywhere. You've never seen that car anywhere before, probably even not in that color. But the minute you buy it, you see that car everywhere. Everywhere you go, there's exactly the same type car as you. But it's only because you've never noticed it before. Consciously, you've seen them. But it just seeps in your subconscious. So the minute you get one, you recognize them. And it's just a matter of recognizing these opportunities. So I hope that answers your question. That if when you say go against the current way of thinking about business, I would say yes, do exactly that. Just go for whatever it is that you want to do and focus on it, and don't let anything distract you from that, and you will attract exactly what you want.
Thank you, John. Thank you. Always inspiring. I love your stories, really. And like here again, it's an amazing example. It's not about strategy. Once again, like you keep getting these clients because you've built a reputation, you have the right attitude, you are always providing service no matter what the outcome. You're just providing service, keep doing things in a better way every day, being the best at what you do. This is crucial in business. People don't understand that strategy can be really secondary. Like you have to become the best at what you do. How do you do that? 1% more, 1% better every time, every week, every day, every month. You keep getting better. And when you get better, people will look for you. Like from Australia to Ireland, they want to work for you. They want to work with you, sorry. And no matter what the price that you're setting, it does not matter because you are the best. And this is just one of many examples of success stories I've heard, is that it's really not about the strategy as it is about the mindset. Polly, go ahead.
Hello. Hi. I just thought this is not specifically related to Malcolm's questions about, because he was mainly talking about the business growth, but I just kind of felt it lines very nicely with the honorable guest I'm going to introduce, Hillary. The reason why I want to introduce Hillary at this point is because she set out an achievable goal for herself, and then which goes against all the rationales, and then achieved unachievable outcome as a result. So I would like to use this opportunity to introduce my guest, Hillary. Hillary?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Polly, and thank you so much for having me here to share my story with you.
No problem. So yeah, Hillary, I think when Malcolm was asking the question, I thought this is the best time to introduce you because your story just absolutely incredible. You achieve unachievable outcome. So would you mind just sharing with us a little bit about your story, about how you start your journey of transformation, please?
Of course, I'd love to. So my name is Hillary. I'm from Ireland, and I ended up in a wheelchair for 6 months, paralyzed on my right side. So how it started was I had 2 back operations, and the first one wasn't a success. So the second one, they had to remove a disc out of my back. So after that, I felt really, really good and decided to get into the line of caring and looking after people in the community. So I did that for 6 years, and I was in a relationship as well, and it ended up being a toxic relationship. So I ended up having to get out of that relationship, and my family asked me to move in with my dad because he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. So I moved in with my dad, and I was looking after him, and I was out in the community trying to take care of the elderly as well. And I started to feel pain in my back again. And it started getting worse and worse and worse. And I ended up coming in and out of the hospital for injections for pain. And I was totally ignoring it and just continuing to do my work. And in the finish up, I ended up in hospital where I'd lost the power totally in my leg. and the doctors thought I'd MS. They ran some tests and they told me it wasn't MS. And they were happy to send me home, even though I couldn't walk. I had no feeling in my leg. So I had to actually fight at the hospital and say, look, you can't send me home to my dad like this. I'm taking care of him. You know, I need something else to be done. So they sent me on to another hospital where they did a test called a nerve conductive study test. And that came back stating that my second operation had failed. So the plan moving forward was to put a stimulator in my back for morphine, for pain, and just live it out in my wheelchair. So I thought, right, okay, this isn't good. And in the meantime, I'm in the hospital and no doctors are coming to my bed to give me any diagnosis of what's going on, what's happening. And I'm just lying there in the bed for 6 months. And I'm thinking, what's going to happen here? Like, where is this going to end up? And my sister Tracy rang me. We hadn't spoken a couple of years. And out of the blue, my sister rang me and she was like, what's going on? And I told her. And she said, have you ever heard of Bob Proctor? And I said, no, why? And she goes, Hilary, watch his videos. She said, this could change your life. So I was like, look, Trace, I'm not in a very good place at the moment. Seriously, I don't think I really be needing this. Like, and she was like, Hilary, trust me, I'm your older sister. I know best. So I thought, right, okay, I'm in a vulnerable situation here. I have nurses showering me and I normally shower other people. That was my job. So I thought, right, okay, I'm going to do this. So I started watching the videos in the hospital and I started hearing then you can heal your own body through, if you stay positive and your situation you're in. Maybe I thought, wow, okay, this is a light bulb moment for me. Maybe I can do this. So the doctors didn't come to my bed. I'm continuously in the bed watching the videos. No doctors coming to my bed. And say maybe 2 months later, finally a doctor came to my bed and he said, Hilary, we're not going to do anything more for you. And I said, you haven't even come to me with my diagnosis. I said, what does that say? Like, and he was like, look, he said, at the end of the day, we're going to have a plan moving forward that you get a stimulator and that's all we can do for you. So he turned around then and he left and he took me off all my painkillers. And I ended up I left the hospital on my own accord and I went to another hospital and they turned around and they told me, Hilary, you need intense physio and you need a stimulator for your back. So I thought, right, okay. So will you give me a pair of crutches? When I left the second hospital, I asked them for a pair of crutches. So they gave me a pair of crutches and I went back to my ex-husband's house. And I said to my ex-husband, I said, I'm not staying in the wheelchair. I said, I am getting out of my wheelchair. I said, I've learned now that we can heal our own bodies and I'm going to do this and I'm determined to do this. So I stayed with my ex-husband for 3 months with my son and they were helping me in out of the wheelchair every day. I was doing little gentle exercises on my back. And 3 months later, I moved back in with my dad. And my family then said to me that I couldn't look after my dad anymore because of the situation I was in. So I sat down with my dad and we had a conversation about it. And we both said it was best that I move out. So when I moved out, I started giving myself self-love, looking after myself, found positive people to be around me, had the support of my sister and my cousins, and I've brought myself back to full health again. I'm out of my wheelchair and living my best life. Yeah, it's amazing.
That is such a great story. And I also want to use this opportunity to shout out to your lovely sister Tracy as well.
Yeah.
I am super grateful and for Tracy as well. Well, just for disclaimer, I know Tracy as well. I know some of you have heard about my story about how I healed my dad in 30 days. And I want to highlight on the importance to have a really good mentor and a support system while you're going through your transformations. Because Hilary has got a great mentorship from Tracy and also good mentorship from Bob to go through transformation, followed by a very powerful decision. And now it's the same with me. When I decided to have that irrational decision to heal my dad in 30 days, It was Tracy doing all the prayers, giving me all the encouragement, telling me that, this thing really worked, Polly, in terms of healing. And so that was how I kept my faith and do the pray, have the cry before going back to my dad and my mom. So I want to also use this opportunity to shout out to Tracy for helping me in that and throughout the whole process. But going back to Hillary, I mean, obviously you made an irrational decision. You reject what the doctor told you that you're going to be in a wheelchair for the rest of your life. You rejected the rational decision. You said to yourself, I'm going to heal myself. I'm going to trust the process. So having gone through the entire transformation, for whoever that is now facing the need to transform themselves one way or another, business, health, relationship, what would be the one sentence you can share with them?
Believe in yourself. Know that you have the power within you to achieve anything. 100%. Yeah.
That's great. I think that absolutely sums up everything. For all of us, really, I have goosebumps here. So thank you so much, Hillary. Thank you for the powerful story. I'm pretty sure all of us here are very touched by your story and your courage and your tips about self-love, about healing. It just shows how powerful our mind really is. That can literally help us to achieve anything that seems unachievable rationally. Thank you, Hillary.
Thank you, Polly, for having me. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening.
No problem. Thank you. So I'm turning this back to Nina.
Yeah, thank you, Polly, and thank you, Hillary. That was so inspiring and so touching. I really love hearing these stories, and there's so many of them. And I had like a similar story that I may share another day, but there is truly an unlimited potential within ourselves that we take for granted, and we don't even dig any deep inside our potential. So believe in yourself, and just saying it like that may seem a little like very theoretical. How do I actually believe in myself? By proving to yourself that what you're doing, that action that is beyond your limiting beliefs, that beyond your paradigm, that is beyond the way you've done things so far the same way. Try to prove to yourself on a daily basis that your actions that are beyond your paradigm are right and are getting you results. How do you do that more realistically? Try to think of a list of wins every day or every week. If you're not doing like so many things every day, but every week, make a list of your weekly wins. A win is anything that came as a result of your actions. Could be a new client, could be something you did for your business, could be something you did for your health, could be a new result that you're actually seeing manifesting in front of you, could be just waking up in a good mood, could be something kind that you did for someone. Any action that resulted in a win, in a positive result, track that down, make a list, and then maybe make like a notebook of wins. And then when you are facing this self-doubt, go and read it. This is proof for your subconscious mind that, hey, what I'm doing, the kind of action that is actually making me uncomfortable, here are the wins. Here are the positive results. This is actually working. This is what you're telling your subconscious mind. And this is how we implement belief. Yes, Jay, go ahead.
So I was just going to add on to that basically we mentioned at the beginning of the call the word procrastination.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to draw attention to that right now, because if you've made the decision, you know what you want and you're working towards it, but that needs to be done, and 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 that, you know what you need to do to get to where you want to go, and you're doing everything but, you are procrastinating. That procrastination will tell you in that moment that that thing that you know you should be doing is the thing that you need to be doing. Okay, so top tip, very, very quickly. If you find yourself doing something that is not productive, that is not leading you towards your goal, so it could be death scrolling on social media, I'm sure we've all done it, binge watching Netflix or Disney Plus or any of the other things, those things that just, they really don't need to be done, but your brain's like, oh, this is nice. I'm just going to sit here where it's comfortable. When you notice that you are not doing what you need to be doing, count back from 5 and you go, I'm stopping in 5. I'm stopping in 4. I'm stopping in 3. I'm stopping in 2. I'm going to go do something else in 1. And I am stopping now. And you press the off button or the lock button, or you get up, you physically get up and move away. Okay. You can then do a quick 10-minute something. So it could be tidy your room, do the washing up, unload the dishwasher or the washing machine, just something constructive that you can do and complete in 10 minutes to get that boost. Haha, I've achieved something. Yes, now what am I supposed to be doing? And then you get back on. And if you notice yourself procrastinating again, go back to what Nina's just mentioned about your win jar and your self-doubt, because it's the self-doubt and it's your paradigm telling you that this thing that you know you should be doing, it knows it's going to change everything for you, and it doesn't want to change. It's too scary for it. It doesn't know what that is, so it doesn't want you to do it. So when you notice you are procrastinating, have a think, what should I be doing? Because that thing is the key to you getting to where you want to go next with your big goal.
Very well said, Jay. So yeah, for those of you who do not know Jay, Jay is our productivity lady. So she teaches people how to be more productive in their daily life or in business. So if you have any questions about productivity, Jay is the one you reach out to. So yes, John, do you want to unmute yourself and maybe introduce your guest today?
Yeah. Firstly, thank you, Hilary, and for sharing it. That was amazing. And Tracy, I just recognized who you are earlier, so it's good to see you. Thank you for coming on. And it's class that when you have that support from your family, it's amazing. And there's we see Kevin Connolly there. Give us a wave, Kevin. This young man here is a great guy, and he has such support from his family as well. Kevin is one of our sports stars, superstars. And as I said the other day, my core business is helping people in construction reaching their 50 and 100,000 goals and bigger. And that's what I do. But my passion as well is supporting elite superstars. I've done this for over 20 years. We've taken football teams. We've played against Irish national teams. We've gone abroad to Sweden and different things, all these different countries, and won competitions. In football, one of the guys I do with is the elite gymnast at national level in 2 disciplines. And Kevin here recently just won a national title, the Irish national title. Absolutely love this guy, and I want to showcase him as well here, because it doesn't matter what age you are. This is powerful material, and I'm not bringing Kevin on here to because of his age. It's because of what he does, and the way he has put this material in to work for him, and the belief that he has in himself is amazing. So just before I actually introduce him there, and I'm not trying to embarrass him. Not trying to embarrass you, by the way. I'm just bigging you up because you're a great guy. And I just want to say, actually, Kevin has massive support from his family, which is, sorry, what I was going to touch on with Tracy. His mother and father are brilliant, bring him everywhere. Everywhere he goes, the whole family go with him, you know. It's just, if you get one, you get all of them, you know. And it's brilliant. They're brilliant support for him. But when we first met, it was actually one of my boys was doing boxing as well. And what I noticed was Kevin was just going around very quietly to all these other boxers and younger guys than him, just asking them, were they okay? Not a big conversation, not a big anything, but just, you know, hey, you okay? You fighting tonight? What time you on at? You know, best of luck. Just a small little thing, just, you know, hand on the shoulder, a little chat, and away you go and chat to somebody else and somebody else. And it was just little things like that I started to notice. And I was just as well talking with his mother, because he's usually a whole troop of people in the background making sandwiches and tea and whatever, all the parents. And just from talking to his mother, was just saying to me that, when other kids his age are out, doing whatever, he's up at 6 in the morning out for a run. When other people are going on holidays and they're all having big banquets, he's there eating chicken and rice. When other people are doing all the things that they do, he's doing the exact opposite, which is what we've said many times. You have to, if you want to be successful, you have to do the thing that failures don't want to do. Because it's easy for people to sit back and say, oh, I'd love to do that, I'd love to do that, but they don't want to put the work in. And this guy really does put the work in. So I just want to say that was my big up to Kevin as an introduction. So, hi, Kevin, you want to just come on and say hello? Can you just unmute yourself there, please?
Well, how's it going?
Would you just basically what I'd like you to do is just to say kind of where you were in terms of boxing, where you were with what level you were kind of at when we met, and then what you've implemented in the program, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, well, I'd say kind of when I met John, I won a couple titles, nothing really like major, but my goal back then, I kind of always wanted to win a national title, but was always kind of falling short and kind of like a lacking self-belief, But then after John got in touch, like, and just from doing the program, like, it's kind of gave me a bit more self-confidence and my own ability, like. And I'd say that's kind of what got me over the line in January to win like the national title.
Yeah, I think you're underestimating yourself there, playing yourself down a lot, because when we met, as you said, you were very talented, obviously, because the boxing club recognized that. I mean, you were already going to the elite Ulster high performance camps and all this type of thing. You'd won many titles, just not the national title, but you'd won lots of other titles abroad and everywhere else. So you're already a talent, and I didn't do anything with regard to your talent. All I did was help you with your mindset. And I have to say, though, that since we've started doing this work, all the different things that you've won, you've retained many titles across in Scotland and different international things that you were doing, even as that. And I would just actually like to say, though, that even when Kevin fought and he won the national title in Dublin in January, it's funny though, it brings success, brings its own issues, and you have to, as we were saying before, whenever you get to a certain level, you have to reassess where you are again and set that, because as Nina brought up earlier, you're a different person when you reach that level than you were here, and then you have to reassess where you are then, and then you have to look again. So you're changing all the time. And Kevin won the national title, and then he got to the Northwest Championship final. Nobody turned up to fight him. They wouldn't get in and fight him. Then he got to the Ulster Championships, which is basically the whole of Northern Ireland and Monaghan and Donegal. Got to the final, nobody would fight him. So this brings your own challenges. And bear in mind, you still have to do all the fasting, all the training. You still have to weigh in. If you're a couple of ounces overweight, you can't fight, you lose. That's it. Done. He still had to do all that, come in and weigh, do everything else, do all the training as if somebody was going to be there, but nobody would fight him. Then there was the Ireland-Wales competition then last weekend, and Kevin couldn't anybody to fight him, so they got this guy from Dublin who's older than him, he's a weight above him, and he's a 4-time Irish champion, and Kevin bet him as well. Like, this guy is amazing because his mindset has totally changed, that when he's got an opponent in front of him, they're just a stepping stone to what he wants. And I'm not going to share his goal. That's up to him if he wants to share what that is in a while. But it's just amazing that the whole different mindset is literally from before, if you don't mind me saying this, just when we had conversations, Kevin, was that before it would have been, okay, well, what's this guy won? What's his titles? What's this? What's that? Now it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he's got 10 titles, no titles, makes no difference whatsoever. It's just this guy is a stepping stone to the next thing. So it's just get in, get it done, go home. That's it. And that whole attitude has has got you where you are now. And I have to say, your attitude is absolutely amazing. As I say, credit to you. You're up, you're out running. When people are doing whatever they're doing, you're doing your diet, you're doing your training, and you're totally focused on what you need to do. And so that's a credit to you. Also, what people don't know is the fact that you have to win the national. The whole thing about keeping winning the national title is you can then fight for your country. You can go and represent Ireland and fight abroad. And they normally do that in January, and then whoever wins that, they start fighting then internationally in April. This year they changed it to August, but they decided to leave it in January because everybody started to train for that over the Christmas. So although Kevin won it, and that's his dream, national title holder, he can't now go and fight for his country because he has to do it again in August. So he has to do it twice in the 1 year. And then he also has to do it next weekend because it's under 18s national title. So he actually has to win it 3 times in the same year to be able to achieve his goal of fighting for his country. Now that takes some mindset when you think you could sit and think, well, this is I achieved the one thing I wanted to do. I wanted a national title and I want to fight for my country. Just to have it taken away from me, bloody typical, blah, 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 or whatever. Now it's 6 months away. What happens if I get an injury and all this? And I was saying this to Kevin, what's your mindset on that? And he was brilliant. Great. It gives me 6 months to get even better. And that's the difference, I think, between a winner and a loser. So I really do admire, you where your mindset is with this. So just would you mind just telling us, would you mind sharing your goal or would you rather not, your big goal?
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, definitely.
Right. Go ahead.
Well, my goal for this year, like by the end of this year, I'd like to box. I'm going to box for Ireland in the Europeans, which are in October time. But my long term goal is to box for my country in the Olympics. So it is.
Yeah, and absolutely, and that's absolutely brilliant. And you will box and you will win in the Olympics. I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that that's what you'll do. And you have a vision board, right?
Yeah.
Would you mind saying what's on that? The different things that maybe you showed me what you have on it, the chocolate competition.
Yeah, well, normally I'd get like a schedule for like my whole boxing for like the whole year, and I would just like kind of I'd write it out like in the present tense that like I've already won it, and just as the dates kind of come, I just tick them off and just like
Yes. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, like as the dates kind of come, then like I've just for example last 2 weekends ago I won the Ulster title, so I just went and ticked it off the board, and then my All Ireland start this weekend, so it'll just be just tick them off as they go. Like
Yeah, there's Kiwi literally has, your cork board, your typical kind of thing, and he has a photographs of or pictures and posters up of him winning all these different competitions. And as he's winning them, as he said, he's just ticking them off. And then there's the next one and the next one, as if they are already achieved, because they are already achieved. They haven't actually physically happened yet, but mentally they're done. And literally, as I like, we have meetings, and I write these down all the time, and literally everything I've got is green, 1, 1, 1. And then we have another few here, and I've literally pages of these that we do, all the time, and we meet once a week and we chat about this. And as I say, I'm really proud and I'm so happy to be involved with Keebeen in this, and we support him everywhere we can. And he gets sponsorship. We even got people who come in and give them free haircuts, butchers giving them protein boxes, and loads of stuff. So yeah, is there anything you would like to say about the program, or can you recommend it to anybody, or is there a specific thing actually in there that you think works best for you, or thing you found most beneficial?
to be honest, for me, it would kind of be like the whole visualization thing, like in the lead up. I found especially in the lead up to my All Irelands at the start of the year, like I just seen myself winning it so many times, like that I didn't have a doubt in my head that it was gonna happen. Then like it didn't even come as a shock, like after. Like I just seen I played the moment so many times in my head. It was done like for me.
Yeah, And I think it was brilliant. And what just to finish up, what was that one you had? You had an interview with the newspaper, and what was the one thing that you said that I had said to you that changed your way of thinking? That one little phrase.
Yeah, the first time we met, I was kind of like lacking confidence a wee bit in my own ability, but and my goals weren't really big, like. But John told me, he says, "Well, someone's got to do it. Why not you?" And then that just kind of I made like flip the switch in me, and like I was like, "Why not me?"
Yeah, honestly, I think that's amazing, and I'm really glad you come on, and thank you so much. I know probably
Thanks for
embarrassed
having
you
me,
a
John.
bit, so I didn't mean to embarrass you, bigging you up, but I just think you're great. Great inspiration to all the younger kids, and you always spend, take a bit of time out and go over and support them as well. So we really appreciate it. Best of luck you're actually in your national quarter final tomorrow night, is that right?
Saturday morning, so it
Oh,
is.
Saturday morning, sorry.
Yeah,
And your first fight is against the guy you bet in the final a few weeks ago, right, in Dublin.
yeah.
Same guy. So, look, we know you're going to do brilliant. We're really proud of you, and thank you so much for coming on. Really do appreciate it, Keeving. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, John. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you. Brilliant.
Wow, I love this story. Thank you, Gavin, and thank you, John. That is so inspiring, and I've got goosebumps, really. Like we've seen so many stories today. I love this. And yeah, you can see that you can apply these teachings, you can apply these techniques no matter what the goal is. Could be a sport goal, could be a health goal, could be an income goal, could be a relationship goal, whatever you want. Do not limit yourself as, oh, okay, my goal should be to increase my revenue in 2025 or to lose weight or whatever you want. The universe do not care. It's just a manifestation of a new version of you. Whatever comes from that new version of you is just a tangible result. So choose whatever you want and dare to choose beyond your knowing, beyond your current abilities, because you will grow. You will become someone else who is able to reach that goal. And you can only reach the goal once you are that person. This is very crucial. And I keep repeating it over and over again because this is maybe one of the most valuable things that I've never, ever learned. So you can only reach your goal once you become that person. Polly, go ahead.
Oh, yes. So I absolutely love the session today, full of inspiring stories. I'm pretty sure everyone is just inspired as I was. And then I wanted to, and somehow I just feel I needed to say this. I remember there was once I was delivering a talk in prison. And then before I did it, I had a talk with the education officers in the prison. And then she was saying she has invited a lot of people coming in to do all the motivational speakers. And every prisoner got really motivated when they heard all the transformation stories. But really, nothing happened after the story was shared. And my reply to her is the reason why people feel very inspired when they hear a transformational story by a speaker is because the speaker itself, he or she, already got a higher energy, higher frequency. So when these prisoners are in the same room with this person, their energy got automatically raised because of they got influenced by that person. So that was temporary. So everyone got very excited, but as soon as they go back to their cell, they feel their lives are going back to normal again. Then the energy dropped. So that was one of the reasons why we kind of touched base on already in the conversation, the importance to have a mentor with you. Because then when you hear inspiring story, when you hear all the positive affirmations that you can do it, you have everything with you, you may feel like really bump out, you feel really excited, motivated. But after you finish the call, you might think, but how do I do it? Do I really have the high takes? I'm not sure. Maybe I will think about it tomorrow. So remember, it's very normal if you feel your energy dropped after this. It's because you get affected, your energy got raised in the same conversation with us. But then if you really want to continue retaining a certain level of energy, you need to continue raising your awareness. You need to put a strong intention to achieve your goal. And it's so, so, so important. I cannot emphasize on the importance to have a mentor or a like-minded community with you to raise you up all together.
I love this. Thank you, Polly. That summarizes perfectly our session today. Now I have one exercise for you, one challenge, one 24-hour challenge that you want to be doing. So, what if a single decision could shift your entire business or goal trajectory? Tomorrow, we're talking about full commitment, bold action, and stepping into the next level. So, what I want you to do is think of a decision that you've been procrastinating about, that you've been putting off, that you've been disregarding, that you've gotten distracted from for some unknown reasons. One simple decision that you know in your heart of hearts that if you took it, you will get through this. You will trample the terror barrier. You will stretch outside the comfort zone. And whatever you want is really beyond that decision. You will find this answer if you keep asking the question again and again. It may be hidden, but you need to identify that. We've already identified the goal. We've already identified what you think is holding you back. Now we have to identify, okay, what's next? What do I need to do? You probably know what you need to do. You probably need to make that call, need to apply for that job, need to set up the goal and just look at it and start implementing a new routine, whatever it is. Write down that decision that you've been procrastinating about. You will see that once you've seen it in front of you, things will change. Because once you've made the decision, everything else will show up. The means, the time, the environment, the connections, whatever it is, it will show up once you make the decision. So you don't need, for example, the income or the money or the ability or whatever it is that you need for your goal to make the decision. Deciding that you will do this doesn't take anything from you, neither time nor effort, nothing. I'm gonna buy this house. I made the decision. I don't know how, I don't have the money. I know I want it. I'm going to make a decision and go and do it. Once you make the decision, it's like a new settings inside of your mind will unfold, and you will start thinking of ways to make this decision come true. You've made the decision, now you need to manifest it, you need to make it true. So your mind will not function the same way before and after the decision making process. This is very crucial, and tomorrow we'll dive even deeper into this. But before that, I want you to be ready for day 5. So write down one decision or one action. Could be really something very subtle that you've been procrastinating about or you've been just forgetting to do. Could be anything, but it's probably your subconscious mind trying to distract you to keep you where you are. So you've come this far. I'm really grateful that I've had all these questions to answer. I've had all these stories to listen to. If you've had insights this week, imagine what happens when you get expert coaching and a clear roadmap. What Polly was saying earlier is that, okay, a motivational speaker or someone who's like in a seminar delivering all these motivational stories will have this high energy, will like get you pumped and like really motivated. But once you get outside of the webinar, of the seminar, wherever you are listening to this person, you have no clue. Okay, now what's next? What do I do? Nobody gives you the recipe. The recipe is to take consistent action, to make the change in your subconscious mind first, in your self-image first, and then the strategy will untangle. The plan, the goal, everything you need, the income will show up once you make the decision. So far we've given you a couple of ingredients that you need, the crucial ingredients you need to go for goal setting and for goal achievement. So imagine if you have this presence of expert coaching and the clear roadmap, really the blueprint of exactly what you need to do. Early in the comments, I've mentioned that once you have an accountability partner or a coach or a mentor, these people, this presence could really see beyond your paradigm, beyond your self-belief, because your mentor or your friend, your accountability partner could be someone you're studying with this material, could see beyond your paradigm, could believe in you more than you believe in yourself. So imagine being next to this person, working with them online or face to face every day, and not wanting to disappoint them. And maybe vice versa. If you have an accountability partner, you can set goals with each other. You can track your wins. You can track your progress, and you can keep each other accountable. Accountability is what will hold you from getting back to the old paradigm. It will keep you going because you don't want to disappoint yourself. But more than that, you don't want to disappoint someone else. For some reason, we tend to disappoint ourselves because it's very easy to distract ourselves with day-to-day distractions, social media, Netflix, what Jay was talking about earlier, probably better than me, Jay. Like, we tend to distract ourselves and forget what we're here to do. So get an accountability partner, get a mentor. If you want to work with us, we are the Freedom Collective. We are 4 coaches. I'm in Paris. Jay is in Plymouth. John in Ireland. Polly is now in Taiwan, but she's flying all over the world. So we are everywhere, and we are here to help you. We'll give you the clear roadmap and a very clear blueprint for your success. John, I think you raised your hand. I don't know if you wanted to add something before we close.
Yeah, sorry, it was just very quickly came into my head. You said about accountability partner, and because that's exactly true. Because me and Kevin, we get on a call at 6 o'clock, but because things were a bit mental for me this evening, I just couldn't get on it, so I ended up ringing him at 7 and apologizing. And Kevin said to me, "Look, it's fine, it doesn't matter. I was kind of just around the house for the last few hours," and I said, "No, it does matter." And it really does matter because like we talk all every week, at 6 o'clock, that's it. And doesn't matter what I'm doing or what he's doing. You just stop whatever you're doing and we get on the call because it's really important. And it's as important to me as it is to him. So it's not just a one-way thing. It's not just, he's a student and I'm teaching him. I feel like crap if I've let him down because as far as I'm concerned, he's taken time out of his day to put aside to meet me. And it actually makes me accountable. So it's a great thing to have a mentor and accountability partner because as you said, it forces you to turn up and it forces you to do what you say you're going to do. And I was killed apologizing to him. And he was going, "No, it's fine." I'm saying, "No, it isn't." And that's the truth. So yeah, I think it's great having a mentor and accountability partner. And even like we still have them, even though we are teaching people. I mean, I still have mentors and people who I contact. So it doesn't matter what level you're at, you still should always try and grow to the next level. So that's all. I just want to jump on to say that because it was in my head.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you, John. So, yeah, it's already 9 o'clock UK time, 10 o'clock Central Time. I don't know what other time zones you guys are in, but yeah, our session will come to an end now. So if you want to know more about how to work with us, please reach out to us via email or call us. Tomorrow we will definitely talk about this ways to work together, and we will talk about decision and the importance of decision making in your business, in your goal achievement, and how to make the right decision and then carry on and keep track of your decisions and your actions. So stay tuned. I would love to hear your feedback. If you are a member of the Freedom Collective in the Facebook group, please share your wins, your insights, whatever that you found useful and insightful from these sessions. I would love to hear your stories, your questions. If you were shy to ask your questions online today, please feel free to reach out to us via email. We will definitely get back to you and answer all of them. So happy to have had all of you today. It was a lovely session. I hope to see you again tomorrow in day 5 of the Think Bigger, Achieve More 5-Day Success Challenge. Thank you and have a great rest of your day.